Hey everyone, and welcome to the second half of our application timeline series. If you missed part 1 and you want to know what you should be doing during your junior year and summer, you can check that video out here. In this video, we'll be talking about what you need to do during your senior year. I'm Elias, this is CollegeVine. Today I'll be doing everything I can to help you have a smooth application process. Pull out your phones and open your calendars because I'm about to throw a whole lot of deadlines your way. If you're on top of everything, well, then you'll already have a good chunk of work out of the way by the start of your senior year. You'll have a workable balanced school list of 8 to 12 schools with at least 2 safeties and a good mix of targets and reaches. Remember, our chancing engine on collegevine.com is a fantastic free resource that can help you build and balance the school list. Also, assuming you're applying to some school's early action or early decision, you'll want to have already completed at least a first draft of your personal statement or your main college essay. We do recommend applying to 2 or 3 schools early, since doing so can improve your chances of admission and will also help you get everything in order by the end of October. This way, you won't be totally overwhelmed during the regular decision deadlines in January. If you want to learn more about application strategy, like what it means to apply early and how it impacts your chances, we've got you covered. Check out our blog post that we've linked below in the description. Okay, let's get started. What should you be working on when the school year begins? Well, you'll want to kick off September by finishing up your personal statement and starting the supplemental essays for your early schools. Most early action and early decision deadlines fall between November 1st and November 15th, but there are also a couple October 15th deadlines like UNC. Darn you, UNC. Anyway, watch out for those and make sure you're getting your essays drafted well ahead of these deadlines so that you don't run out of time to edit your writing. At the same time, you'll want to take care of your letters of recommendation if you didn't work them out in the spring. Make sure to complete and send a brag sheet or resume to your high school guidance counselor and other recommenders by the end of September. Whew! Are any of you feeling spooked? Well, it's time to talk about October. The biggest task on your plate this month will be writing. By the end of October, you should be wrapping up the final edits to all of your early application essays. By the way, you should definitely make sure to get at least a few additional pairs of eyes on each of your essays. And don't only focus on your personal statement. After all, those supplemental essays deserve some love too. Show your writing to anyone you think can help. Your parents, an English teacher, a particularly literate friend or relative, and so on. While you're scribbling out those essays, you'll want to keep your eye on some paperwork deadlines. The free application for federal student aid, or the FAFSA, goes live on October 1st. A couple of weeks later, on October 15th, you'll be able to register for the CSS profile. That's the financial aid form that many private schools use. You should fill these things out as soon as possible. If you're applying early to any schools with an October or November deadline, you'll need to send over several items by mid-October, most notably your transcript and your test scores. You'll want to coordinate with your high school guidance counselor at least 2 weeks before these deadlines so that they know the schools to which you're applying early and can submit your transcript and school report on time. If you're submitting your SAT or ACT scores, you'll want to send them over at least 2 weeks before your deadlines. It is possible to rush scores at a later date, but it will cost you more money. All right, October was a scary month, but at least you're poised to finish your early applications. Once November rolls around, you'll be in the thick of application season with your first set of regular decision deadlines upon you. Now, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't recommend you always submit your applications at least a couple days before the deadline. You know, what if you have a power outage at the last minute? Or what if there was a hidden essay you didn't see before? Or what if Martians invade and take all the staff at your local internet provider hostage, cutting off your Wi-Fi until your town leaders agree to hand over certain valuable natural resources? You get it. Submit your apps ahead of time. If you do successfully submit your applications, well, congrats. After submitting, you'll only have a few minor things left to do as maintenance, like possibly filling out some school supplemental forms, creating an account on the school's website, and so on. In particular, check your email for information on alumni interviews. These are offered on a somewhat limited basis, and they're usually first come, first serve, so we recommend you respond quickly if you're offered one and prepare accordingly. No worries if you don't get one though, it doesn't mean you won't get into the school. Got all that? I guess we can end the video here. Just kidding. You still have to finish those regular decision applications, some of which will start as early as late November, like all of the UCs, and also UT Austin. Darn you, UT Austin. Also, some schools have priority or other deadlines around this time. These can be for scholarships and specialized programs like honors colleges and music schools. As you can see, it's probably going to be a busy month. To prepare efficiently, here's a list of things you need to do by the middle of November. You'll want to register for the SAT or ACT if you're planning to squeeze in one last test before December. You'll need to submit test scores and transcripts just like you did for your early action and early decision schools. You'll also want to complete solid essay drafts for your regular decision schools so that you have enough time to put on those finishing touches at least a couple days before they're due. You can do it. With December will come the holiday season and perhaps more importantly, your early action and early decision results. If you already got into your dream school and are ready to commit, well, congratulations. You can skip to the end of this video, pass go, and collect $200. If you were deferred or rejected, or if you did get in but you want to have a lot of options to compare in April, well then, stay with us for just a little bit longer. Okay, you're still with us. So there are a few things to do by the second week of December. Send your high school transcripts and standardized test scores to your regular decision schools. Make sure to prepare a bit for your next round of alumni interviews, and if you were deferred from a school to which you applied early and you still want a chance to attend, send a letter of continued interest by this date. In these letters, you'll confirm that you're still deeply interested in attending the given school, and you'll detail your recent accomplishments to your admissions officers. For more advice on how to write a letter of continued interest, check out the link in our description below. Now, the holidays are over, and the dreaded January deadlines are upon you. But if you've been following our advice so far, you won't have to worry. You can keep strolling along and send those applications in a few days before they're due. The only things you should have to rush are your SAT and ACT scores if you decide to retake the exams in December and you receive a particularly good score. By December 20th, you'll need to have submitted the request to rush send them. That's the College Board term for expediting them, so they get there faster. Decisions will come out in March and early April, and you should send a letter of continued interest to any of the schools that waitlisted you by April 15th if you still want to be considered. And you'll want to finalize your college plans by May 1st. And that's it. Do make sure that college applications aren't the only thing on your mind during senior year. You'll want to continue focusing on your grades and extracurriculars. In particular, make sure you don't let your grades slip during senior spring. This is important because you'll want to brag about your consistent academic achievements in those letters of continued interest if you do send them to schools that waitlisted you. Also, you can risk being put on academic probation at your future college or even having your offer of admission rescinded if you do extremely poorly during your senior year of high school. We covered so much ground in these two videos talking about standardized testing, school list building, recommendation letters, early action and early decision, extracurricular activities, scholarships, alumni interviews, college essays, and more. We've linked some of our blog posts on each of these topics in the description so that you can delve deeper if you'd like to. You can also visit collegevine.com to view all of our other free resources, such as our community help forums, our frequent live streams, and our custom chancing engine. We also have a college scholarship available to students who make a free account on our website. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe so that you can stay up to date with all of our upcoming content. Thanks for watching, and see you again next time.